Hey, this is Rob Leo. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at Google Meet to hold video conferences with students. I'm here at meet.google.com, and one of the easiest ways is just to click Join or Start a Meeting. You can give your meeting a nickname, and you can continue on to the next step. It's going to start up your camera. You have a mute microphone, and you have a mute camera option down here. You're simply going to click Join, and it will generate a link. You can copy this and send it off in an email, or you can add people directly down below with their email addresses. I advise copying the joining info and sending it out into an email to your meeting guests. Down at the bottom, if you ever lose that information, that's the meeting nickname, and if you click a little arrow, it pulls up the meeting info again. You can copy the joining info to paste in an email. One of the cool things is you can turn on captions, and when you do so, it will generate a running transcript of your meeting, and a text of it will be sent to your Google Drive account along with the recording of your video if you choose to record. If I click Present Now, I can show my entire screen. Turn off captions here. I have two monitors, so I can choose which monitor I want to use. This gives you an opportunity to demonstrate things, show what you're doing on your computer. Some teachers are using Jamboard, for example, to have like a virtual whiteboard that they can share with their students. When you're all done presenting, you can click Stop Presenting. And with the three dots, you have some other menu options, including Record Your Screen. When you click Record, it's going to ask for consent, and then the Record button will appear in the top left corner. The recordings will get sent to your Google Drive, and I'll show you where that goes in just a moment. Of course, stop recording when you need to. You can change your layout. You can go to full screen. You can turn your captions off. And then if people need a phone instead of computer audio, they can use a phone. Let me stop recording. Now that I'm done recording, let me just pull up Google Drive. It will send me an email when I'm all done, but just so you know, Google is placing a folder in your drive called Meet Recordings, and they will also end up there. With a right click, you can just rename them to whatever name you find suitable. So once again, they go to a folder automatically in Drive called Meet Recordings. Let me stop this recording. I'm just going to hang up the phone, and if you don't see this menu, I advise you to just click on the screen, shake your mouse a little bit. This should turn on, and then you can just leave the call. I don't want to rejoin. I'm going to return to my home screen. I'm back at the beginning. You can see nothing is scheduled for today. If you prefer to schedule, you can use Google Calendar. And let's just set up a new calendar event. I'll set this for 2 o'clock. And then I will add conferencing. And with that, you can click the button and it's going to generate a Google Meet link. With a right click, you can copy the link address and share that with your guests. But now that it appears on my calendar as a scheduled event, if I return back to Google Meet, you can see 2 o'clock. I have a demo meeting at 2 o'clock. I would click it. And the same screen as before, I'm going to join my meeting. No one else is here. It's my understanding that students aren't able to get in unless the teacher is there first, but I'm just not clear if that's the case or not. So I think the best way to do it is to do it via Google Classroom, which is a third way. So you can join immediately on Google Meet. You can schedule on Google Calendar just by adding conferencing. But on Google Classroom, they just added this. If you go to the gear icon, you can scroll down under General, and you can see that Meet is now integrated into Google Classroom. If you first land here, it's probably going to say Generate Link. You can always reset the link, and then you can copy it. And I think this technique is the best for just having full control over who attends your meeting and when the meeting ends and all that kind of stuff. It's also visible to students, and let me show you what that means. If you're prompted, you might see the Save button. Resetting the link isn't going to change anything, but if I turn the link off, notice I have to save the setting. So make sure you do that. I'm going to leave the link on visible and show you where that's located. Right on my banner at the top, you can see there's a link. If a student was to click this and I have not yet joined, then the student would get a message that there's no meeting. There's no one there for it. So they're not able to join unless the teacher is there first. So even if you have this visible, just understand that the students can't get into a meeting without you being there ahead of time. When you're all done, I would recommend you go back to your settings and scramble the code, reset it to something different just to be on the safe side. But you saw me copy the link, and I could just post directly on the stream. And then right below, I can add my link just by clicking the link icon and pasting in what I copied from my settings and then posting it. You can do it for all students. You can do it for multiple classes. It's the same link that they would use to get there. Um, when you're all done, like I said, what I recommend you do, because when you post this, the kids will be able to click on it. But again, same as before, they're not going to be able to join unless you're there first, and you have to actually join the meeting, and then they can enter. But like I said, when you're all done, it's advisable to come back to your settings and reset the code and or make it invisible to students just to be on the safe side. Um, and the other thing you may want to consider, not that you'll have to, but you could also delete your post. That way the link is no longer available. Again, I just don't have a good handle on whether or not students can get into meetings unsupervised without a teacher being there. So better safe than sorry, and I think Classroom is your best bet for having complete control over how that link is shared and who it's shared with. So thanks for listening, and I hope you found this useful.